Near me, I have a bookstore that... Hi everybody, Krista here, and I'm very excited to share with you some of the books that I just bought this past week. This is not a full month of April book haul because I bought a lot of books in April. So these are just my most recent purchases. Near me, I have a bookstore that was opened by the author of Diary of a Wimpy Kid series, and it's a really beautiful bookstore called An Unlikely Story. Here's their logo from the bag. I love it. It's a really cute little bookstore. And I had a gift card from there from one of the kids at church, so I have a few books that I bought the other day. So the first one that I bought is Philip Pullman's Fairy Tales from the Brothers Grimm. And this is just a collection of Grimm fairy tales, but Philip Pullman, who's the author of his Dark Materials trilogy, put a little annotations or notes at the end of each fairy tale explaining how it became popular and just some other notes of interest at the end of each fairy tale. So I'm excited to take a look at this. It's been a really long time since I've read the originals of the fairy tales. I've seen all the movies and different things like that, but it's been a long time and I don't know that I've read all of them. So I'm excited to take a look at this. I also picked up Codename Verity by Elizabeth Wein. And I heard about this from booktubers. It's a historical fiction set in World War II era, which I love those stories. So I'm excited to read this, and I think it has a really great friendship in it, but I don't know much more than that. And then another book that I have been hearing about because of people on BookTube is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. And this is a gorgeous book. It looks very dark, and I know that there's a movie coming out, but I know it also deals with a little boy whose mother is sick or has died or something, I'm not even really sure. It deals with his grieving process, which is really intriguing to me. I have lost some loved ones that are very close to me, and I have a feeling that this is going to be a little bit heartbreaking, but also really, really good. I've just heard so many positive things about it, so I'm looking forward to looking at A Monster Calls. There are illustrations throughout the book as well, so I'm excited to get to that book. And then I am a huge fan of yard sales and went to some of my first yard sales this weekend and picked up some great books for very, very cheap. So the first one is Love, Anthony by Lisa Genova, and this is about a mother who finds out that her child is diagnosed with autism. So it's a family story that deals with that very common occurrence these days. So I'm interested to take a look at that. I also picked up two Shel Silverstein anthologies. I've used to have these. I don't know why I don't anymore, but A Light in the Attic and Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. I love his poetry. It's just a lot of fun and playful. He plays with motion of words on the page. I'm excited to reread some of those and have them for my collection. Next, I found at a yard sale again this book called Unlikely Angel. Ashley Smith's story with Stacey Mattingly, and this is about a woman who was held hostage in her own home. She convinces her abductor to turn himself in, and I believe that the book from Rick Warren, A Purpose-Driven Life, plays a part in their conversation. So that sounds really intriguing to me. So this is a nonfiction, but it's based on her story of being held hostage in her own home, which is terrifying, but she turned it into something positive, which is kind of amazing. And last but not least, I have a book that was, again, I found because of some of you booktubers, and that is Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. And I found this on bargain price at Barnes & Noble the other day. And this is the story of the last woman who was going to be executed or beheaded or something in Iceland. I don't know that I've ever read a book written in Iceland, so I'm excited to take a look at this. I don't know much more about the story than that. I don't know if she's truly guilty or not.